Welcome guys, today we are doing it again, another biome update video, and this time, as you can see in the background, it is a variation to the acacia biome. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As you might have heard from Mojang before, they were going to plan a update to the acacia biome with the new additions like the ostrich and the termites. But we've never actually seen it added in Minecraft, so I wonder when they will be adding or updating the acacia biome eventually. But in the meantime, let's explore another variation to it, since I think besides that the acacia biome that we currently have in Minecraft should be updated, we should actually see another variation to it. And that is actually this biome that you see over here. Now, what is up with this biome? Basically, the variation that I add to it is that it is a bit more centered around stone and such. You can think of this as the Acacia Highlands, with the more elevated terrain in the background, which is also part of the acacia biome, and as I said, more centered around stone, with larger rock formations, which you see over here randomly scattered around, and these smaller ones. And also the terrain is layered a bit differently. Instead of the terrain just being elevated and lowered just naturally with grass blocks, all the edges of every layer have like a stone layer, maybe indicating that some time ago something else was going on here. For example, that being a volcano, and this is all the dried up lava, for example. And do we actually need such a biome? Well, you tell me, did we actually need the mangrove forest? This is basically the same story here. It's not really necessary, but it's nice to have a bit more variation to the game. And also, it adds another way to get some materials. For example, pumpkins spawn in abundance over here, since the terrain is a bit orange and pumpkins kinda fit into that. And also there is a high amount of copper available here, so maybe once you like settle down in a world and such and you need a certain material, there's an alternative to just mining down in caves by finding this biome, excavating that for the copper, since there's plenty of it down here. And more about the terrain itself, since it's a bit more orange / brown colored, and that's basically because I wanted to find a way to incorporate a bit of different colors in, well, the biomes of Minecraft, since most of them are green or actually white / bluish, with the regular, well, snowy biomes and the just forested or grassland biomes. And we do not really have like alternative biomes in Minecraft. Maybe when you consider the more stone centered biomes, well, then you have grey, but we don't actually have like an autumn feel. And I think this, well, does that pretty well with the brown and orange colors. And I was thinking of maybe doing the trees, giving the trees a, well, different colored leaf. For example, the orange one, so the biome actually looks completely orange and autumn-like. But when looking at this with the green leaves and such with the acacia trees, it actually fits quite nicely. It adds a bit more, well, contrast to the orange terrain. So yeah, it looks quite nice, but I can imagine you can also do it in orange and then have a completely orange biome, which is, yeah, basically autumn themed, or whatever you want that to be. And the acacia trees themselves are a different design than the, well, current ones we have in Minecraft. They are big, thicker, and yeah, in general, I mean, it is not necessary to update the acacia trees, but it would be quite nice to see some variation with it. Now for the mountain that we see here, this is actually something different, since this is not really a hill or a mountain themselves, but it is an old volcano. Since what I said with the layered terrain and such, this is all because of, well, lava flowing out of this volcano a long time ago, which has solidified, and eventually, yeah, the terrain changed and it became rock, and due to dirt and such covering the terrain, eventually, well, trees could grow and such. And that also explains the high abundance of copper, since maybe there was like a large amount of copper underground and such, and that came with the volcano erupting. And now let me see if I can actually walk up here and show you the inside a bit. And here you can actually see the crater of the volcano. You see that again the terrain is a bit layered with those rocks, showing that stone that once was liquefied due to the lava and such, it now, well, solidified again. And also here some trees were growing. And as you can see, like, this volcano has been inactive for a long time, as plants actually started to grow here. And probably this volcano won't erupt anytime soon. And now we are up here, we can view the biome from above, and this is also something that I really like about it, is that because of those stone edges you can see the layers of the terrain really well, and it makes for a nice contrast in the terrain. And that is basically it about this biome. It doesn't have too much to it in terms of content, but it is a really nice, well, variation to what we currently have, in my opinion. Maybe with future biomes we can see if we can actually add some more, well, utility to it. And now I think of it, actually this biome does have utility, since if you want a lot of copper you can get it here. But then again, there's not really much that you can use copper for, except for building, so I don't know if anyone would actually search out this biome for the copper alone. I hope you've enjoyed the idea and the concept of it. I also hope you like the aesthetic, that it looks nice. And yeah, of course let me know that in the comments, or just leave a like, that's always appreciated. Now if you ended up enjoying this video, well, besides leaving a like and leaving a comment of course, you can check out the next video that's being recommended. Probably you like that one as well. Okay, bye bye.